Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very, very special edition of the Swemp Electronics Football Alliance Division 1. This is the Red Nose Day special, and I don't think many of you expected to hear me today, Champ Megahorse, knowing who is the main star of the show, but yeah, I'm here to anchor the proceedings as we go along. We can see the league table here from what's been going on so far. An absolutely thrilling season. 3 teams level on points as we head 8 games into this 26-match season. Bolton Phoenix, Trafford, and East Coast. It's absolutely thrilling there. Looking down the bottom of the table, Imagine Madrid now have a point, and the Flamingos, I would say, pointless is the wrong word to use them. They are fantastic. Throughout tonight, we're going to have some celebrity appearances, co-commentaries, and special Red Nose Day appeals, and of course, there'll be some matches involved. These matches that are coming up on here. But without further ado, we're going to go to a quick message from our first celebrity, Mr. Morgan Freeman.
Hello, it's Morgan Freeman here. I hope to see some great matches tonight. I hope to see you and Rovers win their match. I hope to see you all give generously to comic relief. I hope.
The wise words of Mr. Morgan Freeman there. We are about to head into our opening game, which, regardless of what comes up first of all, we are definitely going to be going to the Atletico Alumwell versus UN Rovers game. And without further ado, it is time to introduce our 2 commentators for this first match. We've got George from Rainbow and Kermit the Frog.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Megahorse. It's absolutely fantastic to be here today, and I'd love to welcome Kermit onto the show. Good evening, Kermit. How are you today?
Hi ho, Kermit the Frog here. Absolutely delighted to be here. Thank you, George. It's great. It's such a good time.
It's fantastic, isn't it? We were having a good time earlier on, weren't we, with our puppet friends. It was absolutely superb. But now we've got some football to get into, and the first match, Atletico Alumwell and UN Rovers. I mean, UN. They're nearly pink, aren't they? I think I quite like that colour today. But what do you think of today's team?
Quite the good opinion. Quite the good opinion you've given there. They are quite pink. You are correct. I have left Tiny Tim downstairs with Miss Piggy and Robin, by the way, that they're playing the new Football Manager. That's just not my game. So let's talk about Championship Manager 0102.
Yes.
What? That says Karlstrom. He's a good player. Just a 4 at the back, solid formation, and a good attack.
And do you think they'll score lots of goals today?
Probably not. Saviola may get 1. I'm predicting 1 goal from Saviola and an assist from Kreitschley.
Oh, I thought he was called Critchley, but I think maybe Critchley might be right. My favourite player, I'm a big fan of Rimmer. I think he's fantastic, isn't he? Look at him. He scored a goal earlier this season, which is well, it was amazing when he scored a goal. I remember watching and cheering, and Zippy was so happy as well. But we'll see who's there up to today. And yes, Kermit.
Well, like I always say, football is like a movie, and you write your own movie. So well done, Steve Rimmer.
Let's see what happens next. Well, they're ready. And Atletico Alumwell, I mean, this season doing a very good job. I mean, they're 5th. So looking at they're 5th in the table. Lots of goals in their games, and I think they'll be very happy with what's going on so far. I've been told they're making some changes for today. There is the goalkeeper. He won't be running. He's Jimmy Walker.
It's very clever. I understand that joke. You will notice that, as my nephew once sung, Atletico Alumwell are halfway down the the league, halfway down the league.
yes,
So
that's right.
yeah, that's my nephew's song, Robin. So, buy it now.
Well,
Yeah, I'm quite I'm interested to see how Ricketts does up front, but and Masoudi Ek in that central role, but he's normally plays out wide from what I know of Atletico Alumwell. But this is Miss Piggy's favorite two colors, blue and red. So she'll be supporting Alumwell tonight. So I look forward to seeing the result.
He's good, isn't he? Yeah, I thought Masudiak had a longer name, but maybe they've changed it for today. I like said in the midfield as well. I think he's a good player, and I think we're ready for the first match. So let's get started. So you think one goal for the Ewan? Is that right?
Yeah, one goal. Saviola will score, and I think but I do think the result will probably. Oh, what on earth is that kit? That is a horrendous kit from Ewan. That is not my favorite color. I'll tell you that.
It's
I would
not pink,
suggest
is it?
no. It's certainly not. 2-1 at Alum.
Turn your things ass is your referee today. I think that will be quite
I beg
the
your pardon.
song. I think it will be better than halfway down the stairs, if I'm honest. Let's get the game started. And there's nothing else. Chance today. Oh, it was nearly like a kangaroo. I think Casano's had a chance as well. But we're going forward. The ball is going forward. And I don't know what's happening. Yellow card for Kim Shellstrom.
I don't think Ewan Rogers Ewan's team have even turned up yet. What on earth are they? Are
I'm,
they
I'm
playing?
not sure. I'm not sure. They've had a yellow card. Blue Lincoln with a chance for them so far. And Patrick Vieira with a yellow. Oh, and
All
Michael
right, there you
Ricketts
go.
has made it 1-0. Our first goal of the day. Oh, it's superb, isn't it, Jeffrey? I'm sorry, Kermit. Um, we're coming close to the half past the hour, and I don't know. It's just going so fast. It's all going very very quickly, and
Oh, yeah.
maybe
Who's Jeffrey?
oh. I, I,
That's
he was my favorite. He was
let's
a
not,
save. He was a
come on.
save.
Don't bring the tone down. Let's keep it up. Casano's playing very well for a centre mid there. Very
Oh,
impressed with him.
it is
Oh,
half past that half the time, I think, and that might be what they say. But
ah,
Jimmy Walker, Michael Ricketts, and Arcadius back with the good performances for one team, and Jam Pasta for the other team as well. Yeah, lots of shots for Atletico Alumwell, isn't it?
yeah, they're doing really, really well. Can I have a look at the ratings, please?
No,
Um,
yeah,
oh,
yes,
no
you
problem.
can, yes,
So I'll
you
just try
can.
to remember those with my tiny frog brain. Jimmy Walker is really impressive. He's a lot like Mr. Scrooge at Christmas. He's not letting anything go at all. So well done to Mr. Jimmy Walker. You remind me of Mr. Scrooge. Yep, Stam doing very well for the UNR on that side. Yeah, so it's an enjoyable game. It's end-to-end stuff, but when you look at the stats, it seems like only Alum are in the game. So UN have a lot to improve on, I would suggest.
Yes, I think you're right, Isaac. But you see, is this? I think what happens in here is that the UN Rovers, how they're doing in the other bit, comes here, and that's quite a big number, isn't it?
Yes, it's yeah, big, but not as big as the middle one. So you clearly don't know numbers very well, but we'll work on that. No worries. Yeah, they're doing well. It's an interesting game. Ewan will be disappointed because they're not quite creating enough. But Alum very dominant, and yeah, interested to see where this goes.
Yes, I think this is very, very good, isn't it, Jeffrey? Um, we shall have a look at this for the goal. Um, we have got. Oh yes, yes, it's here, isn't it, Jerry? We've got said in back in the area, chipping it in, and back gets ahead of O'Kane, and he knocked it down, and Ricketts. Oh, it's a lovely goal, isn't it? I think I
Tiny
enjoyed.
Tim, Tiny Tim, be careful with that wheelbarrow. You're pushing the little piggies around. Thank you.
In
Sorry.
in
Sorry.
the house, I'm surprised.
Don't get me started.
For the Ullenwell team, I think they're having quite a good half. I mean, these two are doing just following each other, doing the same things in there as well, aren't they?
Very solid. I think Ewan have been in it more than the match stats show because they're key tackles. A lot of key tackles from Aloma that are stopping them from creating many chances. So I think the game is a lot closer than the match stats looks. Would be my opinion.
Yes, it might be right actually. Yes, I mean, Patrick Vieira for the Ewan team is putting in some tackles, and they're just not shooting much as a Ewan. I don't think. I think everybody's fit enough to start the second half, and we will go again from now. Thank you. He's blink on. He scores a
Oh,
goal
there
for
we
the
go.
Rovers.
What an
He's
amazing
1-0.
achievement.
It wasn't
Well done, Matthew.
Saviola. You were wrong.
There's still time. Don't you worry about that. There's still time.
Chance for the substitutions to happen, and I tried to make it happen at 60 minutes, and it didn't work. Please don't be unhappy with me. Um, Well, they want me to manage the substitutions, and I think this is how he might be a little bit injured, and I don't want him to
He's
feel
also
bad.
playing very poorly. He's the only player on the six from that team, from what I remember. So,
I know Gary Neville. We sometimes hang around together with Jamie Carragher. I think he should come onto the pitch.
it sounds a little suspicious, but yeah, no problem.
Oh,
Hanging around with grown men, but no problem.
he's perfect. It's perfectly fine. I've been told it's okay. It's okay. I don't think the team needs to make any more substitutions at this point, so they won't make any more. For the Ewan Rovers, we just have a look at what they're up to. Oh, well, John O'Kane.
I would have to say, let's get John O'Kane off because he's
He
playing a five, and yeah,
he has a bad foot, and he's not good, is he? The right backs, we have John Foster on the bench, and he can come on.
well, as I always say, with good players, you can't lose.
Uh, so, do you see good players in any of the teams today?
I see three in the Ewan team, just three. Apart from that, there's not much else going on. But three sometimes is enough. He's playing above his own ability. The team here, so yeah, I
Oh,
would say.
yeah, I like that as well. One substitution for both teams, and we start again with the match. And we have half an hour left in the match, and I'm trying to talk over nothing happening, and there's a transfer back, and he comes quite close. Oh, he was very close to scoring, and nobody else wants to seem to shoot. And come on, somebody do something because I want to talk about some football. Uh, Kermit, why is nobody doing anything?
I'm not sure. It's quite a quiet game. I did promise a Saviola goal, but it doesn't seem to be happening, does it?
And there's the
Oh well.
final
Oh
result.
wow, Mr. Walker there, the very similar to Mr. Scrooge, but he seems to have got man of the match there. I would never give Mr. Scrooge man of the match. Let me tell you now, he is an unfriendly guy. But Jimmy Walker seems to be doing really well there. Well done, Mr. Jimmy Walker.
I'm very, very pleased with both the goalkeepers playing a good job in the game, and some very good defending from everybody apart from Zowie. But I'm sure Zowie tried very hard and just didn't quite manage to pull off the game. We have from the shots that happened. Look, you and Rovers they had every single chance on the target, and that's very good, isn't it?
Yep, very accurate from the Ewan Rovers. At Alum, I would say an excellent defensive performance. If you look at the player ratings, there are 3 defenders on an 8, which shows that Ewan Rovers and Atlum were perfectly matched today. Amazing stuff. So yeah, really enjoyed the game actually. Apart from all the bits where nothing happened, it's an interesting game in general. I thought it surprised me. I thought Ewan Rovers would struggle more than they did, so they can be really pleased.
Yeah, I think he was good. I mean, I think Champ Megahorse must have left his microphone on then because he coughed and I don't know how he did that one. We were going to looking at the goal and it was quite early in the second half and it was Hill. I don't know how a Hill can move, but he put the ball into Blinkhorn and Blinkhorn scored it from the low shot there. Fantastic. Um, Yes, I mean,
Wow.
look at the
Yep.
tackles here.
As I said, I know my football. I'm not a football manager fan. I'm absolutely a championship manager fan. And as I said, uh, yeah, the defense there, I think, won at Loom the game. Really, it seems a strange thing to say, but the keeper on a 9, 5 key saves, or key tackles, and between the two defenders, that is an awful lot of tackles won. It kept out the UN Rovers attack very well. So I think UN were probably the more impressive side in that game, if despite looking at the stats, because if you have a team that looks like that and you're putting so much pressure on a brilliant defense like theirs, you're doing something right. So well done, Ewan.
Yes, I think they did a good job to get the point, and maybe it's the start of something very good when they play in pink again. Maybe that will be good, wouldn't it? Um, we are going to go into our next match now, and we're going to hand over back again to Champ Mega Horse. Okay.
Oh, thank you very much, George and Kermit. What a fantastic match we've just experienced there for the first one of today. We are going to flip over to the Flamingos, and the Flamingos are there in their massive matchup against Trafford. I mean, well, what sort of things can happen here? Before we do go into the match, we're going to hear from the next of our celebrities who are going to be talking a little bit about comic relief and Red Nose Day. It's Stewie Griffin.
Hello everyone, it's Stewie Griffin here. Big fan of the Flamingos, only team with players younger than I am. And it's Red Nose Day, so, you gonna donate? Gonna, ding ding? Gonna give a little bit of money? A few pounds can make a big difference? Look forward to seeing you all do it.
Stewie Griffin there, and talking of Family Guy, what an amazing family this Championship Manager community is. Such fantastic donations towards the Red Nose Day special here, and just a superb environment to be involved in. So as we go into this game, I'm going to hand back over to our main commentator, George from Rainbow, but he's been assisted this time by manager of Bhutan Badgers, Tato Mourinho. Good evening, Tato.
Hello, thank you, Mr. Horse. Pleasure to be on here. So really enjoying it so far. The green room is absolutely bouncing back there with the characters that are around. I can't wait for everyone to find out who else is going to appear. Yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely to have you on, Tato, as well. I had a jacket for Tato last night. I must tell you now. I am sorry for eating your family.
It's disgraceful. It's not acceptable in any way. I've been on at Bodger and Badger for that for years. I'm fuming with them with the mashed potato gags. It's not funny. It's time everybody moved on, including the BBC.
I was very sorry to hear of Bodger's death recently. It was very sad, as bad as Jeffrey. I can just see the screen and look, they've got Bungle playing for them today. He's Bungle.
Yeah, there's
son.
it's not Bungle, George. It's it's not Bungle. It says Brungleson. Similar, George, but not quite. Yeah, it's a shame. Yeah. Yeah. So, can you see up front? There's George. He's up front. Can you see George still in? That's good, isn't it?
Imagine me playing football, Jerry. I mean, I know I have the pink kit and the blue eyes, but maybe football is a little bit difficult with one arm. I don't know. But I think
Wow.
maybe this
Wow.
is quite a team, isn't it, for the Flamingos today? Do you want to tell people about it?
Very interesting formation. I saw this recently in the Super League actually. Very interesting. Very defensive, but I think it won title. I don't really watch the Super League; it's a bit boring. I'm all about the Swemp League these days. But I think I saw a screenshot of this in the final from Locomotive Bowstone, and they won the title with this similar formation. So I'm interested to see if it works out for the Flamingos tonight as well. What do you think?
But I mean, I like the colours. I think he's very nice. He wears a pink, but yeah, I think you said you were similar because I know that in the other leagues they're allowed to play 2 defenders, and he has to have 3. I mean, Bungle, so he's my favourite player, even if he's not called Bungle. I think that's a spelling mistake. I mean, I like Des Fiowa, so I think he is wonderful, and I heard he played rugby as well for his country in real life as well, so that is good. I mean, yes, I think will they get a point today? No. But will
No.
they have a nice time and all
No.
shake hands with the players after the game? Maybe they will. I think maybe.
Yes, really insightful there, George. Especially when you commented on the colours, that was really good stuff. I can see why they've got you on. Can you press continue?
Thank you.
Can we move on, please?
No, we say look at the colours for it. I know that. Yes, okay. Proceed to yes, I think.
Press yes. Press yes immediately.
Now, Trafford United, they have a change of their team today, and they have got somebody called Paul Landro playing in defence who played in the cup. I don't even think he's a player in the league, but he has joined the team for today.
Yeah, I saw his performance in the cup. I think, if I'm not mistaken, if you look there, pass percentage of 96% completed, 8 assists, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, in the cup game he made over. I think it was him. He made over 80 passes in the game, and he only played for 60 minutes or so. So he deserves his start.
It was over 800 passes. I think he.
No. Once again, you're getting it slightly wrong there. It was 80. Not so good with the numbers there. Yeah, but you're embarrassing yourself now.
I can count. I've been learning, but I don't know what the numbers mean really. And I think maybe we might see the Russian Nigel Martin playing later on as well. He might get a game as well. I've heard there's a chance he might get onto the pitch at some point.
That's Ruslan Nigmatulin. It's not Nigel Martin. Nigel Martin's somebody different. Once again, you got it wrong.
Somebody better.
Yes, he's definitely better. Yeah. But apparently he's quite the target man up front. Yes. So interesting to see when they bring him on, if he makes an impact. But 2 completely contrasting styles here. We've got very central from Trafford United, and Flamingos are packing out the defence. So it's all out attack against defence here. So I'll be intrigued to see how this one goes.
When you say they contrast each other, is that one good team and one bad team, or is it something different?
Yes, it's one good team and one bad team. Yeah, but we try not to be so blunt about it, George. We try to sit on the fence, be a bit impartial.
I think sitting on the fence might be quite painful, so I'll take a chair if that's all right. We go into the match, and Daddy's Ray has Oliver Kahn. Oliver can save some shots today. Okay, yes,
good one.
Get started. We just Madeira. We're going to Madeira. I can't see the pink, but they're having chances, and they're having.
Wow.
What does that mean?
He's done something very naughty, George. He's been told to leave the game. He's not allowed to play the game anymore. So if being me, I would move to 3 at the back, central. I think it's a very central team anyway. I'd bump them all across, Mr. George. I would probably go 3 at the back. And I would imagine get rid of that arrow from Landro.
It doesn't make sense. And I mean, I don't know much about football, but I know Okaronko can play as a left-sided player, and maybe he just switches with the Land Rover and moves into.
So you don't know much about football. but you're aware that Okoronko is a left-sided defender. That's
yes.
interesting the way that's panned out there, George. Maybe swap them round then.
I think I know about 16 facts about football and
one of them is Okoronko is left-footed. Yeah, okay, let's do that then.
No. It says here he's footed. Yes.
Okay.
See, I can correct you as well, Tato.
Yes, it's crazy how that works, isn't it, George? Yeah.
They say carry on, and there was nothing happened as a result of a free kick, and still can't see the pink, and there's a chance going for it. Shevchenko takes a foul.
This if you can stop bumbling away there, George, for a second, this really evens up this game. 10 of the Trafford players.
David Beckham, I think he once scored a goal in a match before. He scores, and it's very even, isn't it? There's only one goal between the teams, which isn't even. But
commentators curse there, I think. Yeah, but good goal from Beckham, and the keeper for Flamingos is having an absolute worldie. That means when they play well, George, by the way.
But I still surprised it's not bungling goal. It was a bit sad, but there's been some chances for both the teams, maybe, and we've done nothing, and it's half time, and yes, Rickard Johansson is fantastic, isn't he?
Yeah, he's had a good game there. I was just waiting for those stats to load up on my screen here in the studios. Yeah, it felt like it was more of an even game. Watching the game, I actually felt, if you look there, free kicks wise, 9-1. Maybe that's what was taking up all the text there. Flamingo seemed to have quite a lot of the ball for the first 30 minutes, especially when they got a man up. But then, the last 10 minutes there, Trafford started to stamp their authority, and looking at the shots on goal, they've absolutely battered them. So tackles one is pretty embarrassing from Flamingos, but I know that pre-game we had a quick scan at the tackles, the how good they are at tackles, each individual player, George, and they were all under 10. It was pretty embarrassing. So
it wasn't very nice, was it? I mean, I could count all of the numbers, which was quite nice, but maybe not in the sense of football. I mean, the stat here of no offsides, is it real that this could happen, or is it a linesman who does not know what an offside is and cannot give one?
I think the Flamingos are playing to defend very, very deep by looking at the team there, and they're also putting men behind the ball. So if they sit really far back, Trafford can't be offside, and also Flamingos are not attacking, so they will also not be offside. So yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, I still don't know what an offside is, but he sounds very nice anyway. So, and we look into your red card, and George. Oh, I was trying to take on Roberto Carlos. He tripped me over, and I just about survived. But Roberto Carlos is gone and runs a bath for the team, and I don't know if they're having one at halftime or not. But then we have got here. We've got the Totti has a shot which was saved by Johansson, and David Beckham puts in the rebound, and it was very nice. But we're looking, and we see the first half. I can't see many one tackles there from.
No, there's not many tackles going in. Just tackles in general really is not the main person who's tackling is Telechi, obviously, who's Telechi, who's put in 6 tackles. He's won 2, and he's winning a couple of headers as well. But but as expected before the game, the team were chosen. There's no one in there who can tackle. Even the defenders cannot tackle. So it's not surprising, but they're still only 1-0 down. So they are, believe it or not, still in the game. Can we have a look at Trafford stats, please, George?
Yes, of course, Prime Minister. We've got the teams here.
Prime Minister.
Yes, I think you're a very important person in the
right. Thank you. Our current Prime Minister is not important, really, is it? But thank you. Appreciate that. Emerson having a good game. Yeah, not much to say. I am very intrigued to play the second half. I don't think any changes need to be made unless, as instructed by the gaffers, mainly just looking at it. it makes it a lot even now that they've got 10 against 11. So I'm interested to see how this one goes.
Yeah, yes, I have a look into the teams at the moment, and there's nothing happening until the 60 minutes. So we get started and we go into the match now, and the Emerson and Tomadera and Okaronquo has had a chance, and I know Okaronquo with his left thingamajigs, and Tomadera makes it
Goal.
2-0, and I think this makes substitutions happen, which just weren't happening anyway. That will change the match. I
Wow,
think
get-
the Flamingos need some.
I'd get those 3 off. Let's
So,
Hadzim, let's get him off for Cranchar, I would imagine.
Cranchar.
Bottom, yeah. I'll take Telechi off for Habuzi.
Yeah, I think Des should come onto the pitch.
All right, then let's get Christensen off for Des then.
Yes, I think he will do a good job. Yeah, yes,
Yeah,
I
let's
think.
do that.
For the Trafford,
I cannot believe Jocelyn has stayed on the pitch there, by the way, George.
we the 5, but you said let's get the 3 off the pitch, and we did.
Yeah, they're very injured.
So, well, with the Trafford make substitutes, definitely. I know their first choice is anybody under 85%, and there are 3 of them. So,
Okay. Did I read a very, very interesting facts in the green room about a certain player possibly coming on? Is that still happening?
yes, it's going to happen, isn't it? I think you
Yeah,
mentioned
good.
about Shevchenko
That's the one.
phoning Matulin.
Nigel Martin. Yeah, we'll call him Nigel Martin for you,
Oh,
George. Nigel
thank you,
No problem.
Take to Jeffrey. We have the change here, and I like
Landreau.
I like Njai, but I don't know if you like Cannavaro better or what. But
I'd go Ndi. I don't think it matters that much. I think Ndi on this occasion would be okay. Glad you won't mind that.
and Totti for is that Barry Ferguson?
I'm always a Barry Ferguson, yeah. Over Zidane. Always Barry Ferguson, yeah.
Barry Ferguson's over Zidane. I didn't know that was happening, but best of luck to them in the future in their life, and we go into the rest of the game, and 25 minutes to go. I can count a little bit. It was a trap. It
looks
was
like
Barry
game over here.
Ferguson.
2-0 looks like it's done, really, doesn't it? Aquilani's started to play for the Flamingos. Emerson's absolutely running the show for Trafford.
But it's a very quiet end to the match, and a 2-0. This is good. It's under the 2 goals, and Tomadera. I think I've seen. Am I right in thinking Tomadera had a very, very long and happy career as a footballer?
No, that's literally the opposite of what happened. He didn't have one at all. Didn't exist. Was made up. So,
but he's here. He must exist because he's on the thing here.
Yeah, a person typed him in, made up some numbers, pressed enter, and that was about it. Can we have a look at the match stats, please, George?
Yes,
I'm getting quite frustrated here with you.
I'm sorry. I will be better for the next time you come on. I please forgive me.
I don't think I'm coming on again, George.
But I'd like you to later on today, please. We've got 18 shots and 12 shots on target. That's plenty for the Trafford, isn't it?
That's absolutely massive. That is a huge amount of shots on goal and on target. But in the grand scheme of things, I think if Flamingos would have come out with an attacking formation today, it might have been more than 3-0. So I think even with against 10 men, I think 3-0 is fairly respectable. But looking at the stats, they have been, as expected, battered, to be absolutely mullered, absolutely lubbocked, to put it politely.
Some lovely verbs there. I heard in that bit. Yes, battered like the sausage, and Tomadera with a low drive or whatever he did. He was a lovely goal in that one for the second goal. I don't think I've ever seen corner kick being hyphenated before, but it has been in the commentary today. And then the third goal from a punch from from the goalkeeper if it was
Hello,
Bundleson.
is it my turn again? Hello, is it my turn again? Did someone say Kermit?
No, it's not your turn. Go and sit down. Go and get another beer.
Oh, sorry. See you later.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
It's okay, Kermit. We have stocked all the bar up for anything you need for us tonight, so please
Ridiculous.
entertain yourself. And Tom Madeira just with the loose ball from the punch, and he scores his 5th goal as a goalkeeper. Was nowhere to be seen. Yes, I think you mentioned Aquilani's fantastic performance today, Jeffrey Mourinho.
Yeah, he played very, very well, and the keeper who was on a 9, I think, or an 8 at half time, has now dropped down to a 5.
Is that normal?
I mean, that's bad. I honestly don't think I've ever seen that in my entire football career, to be honest, on this game. He's made a few key tackles, but that last goal said that he went walkabout, so maybe he'd gone for a ball, missed it completely. Baba has got a 5, not surprised because he can't tackle for a defender. Estefania as well, we were singing his praises at halftime. To drop from an 8 down to a 5 They must have had an absolute stinker of a second half, and Jocelyn was lucky to be on the pitch. If you look there, that's probably George. You won't know because you don't like football, evidently.
I like football. I just have no memory or brain.
Yeah, that is evident. 11 tackles, none won at all. I don't think I've ever seen that in my whole career. That is obscene. So.
That is cool. That is
Wow.
funny. That isn't it? It's a number 11. He's very good. Yes, and for the Trafford team, Beckham.
Yeah, routine. Beckham in that central role is very underrated, as I proved in the Super League friendly round the other day. Very underrated, and against a, no offense, Flamingo's weaker side. He's run the show. He's dominated. Beckham got himself a 10. And you look at Emerson's passing as well. He's an absolute metronome there, making loads of passes, key passes, 6. They've done what they needed to do against a weaker side who put up as good a fight as they can. So Trafford go on to the next one. Yeah, good result.
Yeah, it's very, very nice, isn't it? Well, thank you very much, Mr. Tato, for your help during this game. I think we'll see you later on. I would be very sad if you didn't come back on for the matches tonight. Maybe...
I'm going to go and reflect. I'm going to go and reflect on what's just happened, and then I'll maybe come out later on. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we need to see you for your badges. We thank you, Tato, Jeffrey. We move on to the next game.
Well, thank you very much, George, and for Tato for that game. It was, certainly something that we probably expected, a win there for what they call Trafford. Yes, Flamingos putting up a spirited performance. We're ready to move on to the next game between the Bolton Phoenix and Falaraki 99ers, and linked loosely to the Bolton Phoenix through location, we have our next celebrity message from Professor Brian Cox.
Hi, it's Professor Brian Cox here. I just want you all at home to imagine that comic relief is like a big neutron star, and the gravitational pull is just so much that it's attracting all of the money from your bank accounts. So please give generously. Also, come on the Phoenix.
Professor Brian Cox there, who eventually managed to recommend a team to support for today. Fantastic. We're going to go into the match straight away, and I'm going to hand over to George from Rainbow, of course, but a wonderful guest here who's arrived all the way from Pontypandy. Please welcome Dilys Price.
Oh, I'm absolutely delighted to be here. Why, just this morning I was looking after Norman when he set the chip pan on fire. Sam was around right away. Oh, thank you for having me. It sounds great to be here.
I don't know why I'm laughing at the chip pan fire, but I don't know. It sounds like it might have been quite colourful and warm. But are you okay, Dilys?
Oh, we're absolutely fine. Thank you very much. He's a blooming nuisance, that Norman. He's always stealing my apples as well.
I've heard he can be about as naughty as Zippy. Is that about right? Is that right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You will notice that I have spent a couple of years in India as well on my travels around the world. So you might hear the influence in my voice from the culture and there. Just soak up all the culture.
We're having a look at the Falaraki team, and I believe
Oh, I remember
he
when I
went
went to
there. Yes.
Falaraki. Excuse me, George, please let me butt in there. I remember when I went to Falaraki with Bell and Trevor Evans. We had a right laugh. That's when Norman was conceived. Oops, said too much.
I don't know what some of the words mean, but it sounds lovely. Yes, and there's a team here for Mr. El Champino. It looks quite his usual team. I've been watching a little bit. It's his usual formation with just a little change of Mr. Sorochinsky in this position here.
Oh, I've been supporting the Falaraki 99ers up and down the country. Absolutely brilliant team. Lots of arrows going on in the middle. Robin having a decent season in the middle there. Not normally where he plays, but he seems to be doing quite well. I always like it when they get their hoses out towards the end of the game. But putting out the fires and scoring those goals. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see. I have been to Ireland as well recently, so I have also started speaking like an Irish person as well. But please ignore me. I'm quite a multiculturalist these days.
It's very nice, isn't it? All I usually see is Rainbow Island, and I sometimes hear Rod, Jane, and Freddie singing some songs, and that's probably about it. Apart from when I once went to Sutty's party, it was lovely. It was a very good day. But
Oh,
that's
don't
nothing
talk
to.
about that little puppet to me. He's absolutely dead to me, that boy. He's absolutely dead to me as Sooty. Let's move on to the next team.
But I like Sooty. We're going into the match. They play against the Bolton Phoenix team, who are the top of the league, and I like teams who are on top. We'll have a look at today's team. They make one change. Carlos Gamera has come out of the team, and Lillian Thuram, she's coming instead.
That seems like an absolutely brilliant change. The Bolton Phoenix are quite the machine from what I've seen. I do like the Bolton Phoenix. They're quite the machine. They put the similar four at the back formation, and they get the job done. Yeah, cannot complain really.
Yeah,
Good team here.
Have you spent some recent time in Newcastle as well? Maybe in your holidays, Dillis Jeffrey.
Possibly I do. I get around. I certainly get around. But I'm happy to be here tonight because the green room is absolutely brilliant. There's some great characters in that green room. So let's just get on with the game so I can see some action.
Okay, yes, we've used a great North run later on. Kicking off with Kim Runeborg, and yes, she's a good referee. We will start the match, and we have a chance. Oh, and a Shearer, I think, was quite close, and a yellow card for Pettit. And, and we come to Falaraki. Oh, a chance for Falaraki. Dillis, your favourite players, the 69ers, has a chance to score, and now it's nothing. He's away, and I think, oh, Robin, is anything happening? I think it's just kind
Doesn't
of
seem
playing
like anything's
around.
actually happening. Seems like a lot of huff and puff and not actually anything happening. Sebastian Fraser seems to be having a good game as well.
Yes, yes. Oh,
My
Shearer.
head feels like a cabbage.
It's probably very full of vitamin C, I imagine. We're coming close to half time, and a chance I don't know who it was, maybe Cafu or something. Oh, Cafu has he's not dead, is he?
Oh, he's absolutely not dead. What are you talking about? He's not dead.
I would bring on
Luis Enrique or Torricelli, maybe.
probably Torricelli.
It's just
Bella.
Bella serves that in her cafe.
Bella
Cafu.
has turned up from Fireman Sam as well. Hi, Bella. Oh, what are you doing? I've also been spending some time in India. Ignore Bella.
Ciao, Bella. Your cafu has had to close, and they brought on the substitute dish for you, to Torricelli. I have that sometimes with chicken. We're going to half time now, and I think it might be nil. It is 0-0 at half time. And so no shots on target for Falaraki so far.
No, don't seem to be much happening for the Falaraki boys. They seem to be letting me down after all my support. Yeah, it's 0 shots on target. That's not quite good enough, really, is it? It's a blooming nuisance, them Falaraki boys. Phoenix seem to be in control. Can we have a look at the player ratings, please?
Yes, I think we can indeed. He's just a
Sebastian
goalkeeper.
Priest having an absolutely brilliant game. Hargreaves not so much. Take him off here. Come on. Get him off here.
I follow the instructions of the teams, and Falaraki, they just want anybody under 80% fitness. But that's not happening. And for the Phoenix, where we've had the substitution, haven't we? Let's have a quick look at the numbers and things. And Montero looks quite nice and fun today. He's a very nice, friendly man, isn't he?
Yes, he's very. Yes, I agree. There, he's I tell you who also is a friendly little man. It's my little precious Norman Price. Oh, have I mentioned my Norman? Oh, he's an absolute delight. Apart from when he's stealing those apples, but he's an absolute delight. He's also a little prince. Yeah, Paulo Montero, absolutely brilliant game. Marcel Desailly as well. Easy game for those two, but the rest of them should try and kick the ball a little bit, I think.
Yeah, yes, that might be about right. Not too many passes from them, and Torricelli seems to be catching them up a little bit already. For the Falaraki team, yes, Hargreaves has not been passing very well, I've noticed.
No, get that boy off. He's absolutely terrible. Get Owen Hargreaves off. He's on a 5. That's an awful rating. Get the boy off. Says my Irish cousin.
I have no plans to get boys off tonight. We will see how we get on with the rest of the match into the next 15 minutes and see whether there's a David Collins had a chance, or Ronaldinho, Falaraki hitting the bar. I think that's what happened in Falaraki, isn't it?
It certainly is. Fish bowls aplenty.
Yes, I've heard about these things before. For the Phoenix to manage the substitutions, I can feel it.
Dearie me. I'd like to. I'll look after that groin injury if he needs to.
We have Zidane and we have Luis Enrique. Which player would you like to think about for today?
I'd probably send on Zidane and send Rui Costa straight round to my house. I'll look after him. I'll make sure Norman's out.
But he's a lovely boy, isn't he? I don't know what quite you mean there. We look for the subject that says no injuries, but if the team and I can't remember, he's 0-0. If the team are drawing to make a substitution,
absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. Please take off Owen Hargreaves. He's having a stinker.
It's not being recommended for that. It is
good Lord, dearie me.
One of the front 3 players, 6.
Don't you take off my boy David Collins now?
Maybe two substitutions. I don't know. Robbie Keane for the Ronaldinho player.
maybe Ronaldinho off, but
But then again, I don't know. Well, Sigalko's a little bit
yeah,
unfit, and
maybe
Saviola could come into his place. I don't know
I'll leave
yet.
that one up to you.
I will stick to the choice of. I think he's quite keen to score a goal today. I'd like
Oh,
to
I see what you did there. Saline, that's very good. Yeah, very good.
Yes, I used words, didn't I? Yeah, I did quite well, I think. And we were coming to the last part of the game, and we were still at 0-0 at this point. Jonathan Woodgate had a yellow card, and
I can't believe it's still 0-0. Phoenix are scoring every single game they're playing, and not today. Sebastian Frey seems to be keeping them at bay.
I think he's made another save at that point, and I'm very, very pleased. It's quite a good 0-0 match, I believe.
Oh, Norman, it's still 0-0.
Oh,
Still 0-0. Sebastian Frey is on a 10. What an absolutely astounding game.
And then a 9 again, and then but these two,
An absolutely stunning performance from Sebastian Frey. He should be really proud of himself.
Yes, I noticed, and the player with the 9 on one team, Sebastian Frey, with 12 million saves, and Marcel Desailly for the other team. I mean, Phoenix.
Hearing me.
Look at Phoenix, Jeffrey. I'm quite. I feel a little bit sad for them, and very, very happy for the Valeraki team.
We should stop calling me Jeffrey, but yeah, I can't believe it. It's an amazing result there in the end. It's 11 shots to 2 on target. The 11 shots has earned Sebastian Frey the 9. That was an absolutely one-man performance. But also, if you look at the Phoenix side, there's Marcel Desailly. He's got himself a 9. Can we put some Phoenix stats on, please? How many key tackles? He only made 1 key tackle. 7 good tackles, stopping the Falaraki boys from making an impact. It's pretty impressive. So well done to Falaraki. I would say they'd be the happier of the two with that result. And I also think that Mrs. Doubtfire, who appeared halfway through the game, they would also be impressed with the result.
Mrs. Doubt. I remember watching that film and finding out that she was a man, and it was quite a funny film because some of my friends are also into that kind of film. Stephen Gerrard with lots of headers. And yes, a good match with the 0-0 draw. But poor little Cafu, he has a poorly shin, and I think.
Don't you worry. Don't you be worrying about my Cafu now. Don't you worry. Send him around to Dillis's house, and I'll look after him. Let's move on, please. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Dillis. I'm sure I will see you later on, and I'm going to hand over to Champ Megahorse now for the next little bit. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much, George, and so good to have Dillis Price on the show for her first showing. Just football knowledge just is absolutely without end. We're going to go into our next match, which is the Wanderers of Wolverhampton versus Fortuna Deflection. But just before we do, and we bring in our next commentator, we're going to go to a message from Sir Ian McKellen.
Hello everyone, it's Sir Ian McKellen here, urging you all to really get stuck in this evening and give generously for Red Nose Day. I will be donating, of course, and cheering on the Wolves and their very own Grey Wizard. Come on, Fortesh, you shall pass the fitness test!
Lord of the League there, Sir Ian McKellen. We are about to head into our new set of commentators for today's game, which of course is George from Rainbow, as I mention every time. But before we introduce our next commentator, thank you very, very much for those people who've been donating so far. It's been absolutely amazing to see the generosity of the community and of friends. We couldn't have done this without you, so really appreciate it. On to this game then with George from Rainbow And guest commentator from Division 2. We're going to welcome one of the managers, and it's to Steve Wright. Good evening, Steve.
Oh, thanks. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. Took me by surprise, really. Just sat here, created Magnus. Phone call came. Oh, by gum. It's an absolutely brilliant be here, mate. Thank you.
Hey, hello, Steve. It's very nice to see you here tonight. Is it your best experience of your life so far?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. Just saw Kermit in green room. He asked me about size of my pudding, saw him sling his hook. But I'm absolutely loving myself, loving it. I'm a great time. Thank you very much. Without a shadow of a doubt, best night of my life.
Yeah, well, yeah, that is very, very good, isn't it? I'm sorry to see Fortesh. He did pass the fitness test, but he has not been picked today. It's quite sad news, isn't it? But for Andrew Richards, after last match, was beating the Badgers, who I think Steve, you might have heard of the Badgers before. They'll be on a high from their last match, won't they? The Wanderers of Wolverhampton.
Oh yeah, they had absolutely brilliant last game. There will come a point where it'll really click with Wanderers, and it might be happening soon. I'm absolutely up the danglies sort of fan, but the Wanderers I'm quite happy with as well. All I will say is they've got many defeats so far, so anything could happen really. So we'll see. We'll see what happens tonight. There's interesting formation, not something I'd play. I am in Super League. I don't like to mention it, but it's not something I'd play. But interesting to see how it plays out against Fortuna.
For Fortunas, so he's a match against some fish. I think maybe it's quite nice to see two different people on this side. So this man, he's not hugging the pitch. We shall see in this match. It promises to be quite exciting for the Wanderers, and for Fortuna deflection in zippy yellow. It's nice to see the colour scheme. They have gone for this team today. The same formation with a couple of little changes, I think.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt, that is not a formation I'd be looking at playing, if I'm being honest. But I'm not in charge of the team, so fair play to him taking a gamble. I like the players he's chosen, but without a shadow of a doubt, I would not be playing that formation. But working well for him so far. Saeed, big fan of. So he by gum. Be a decent game. I like what he's done with Arrow there on full backs. But apart from that, that's David Day probably going to continue his decent form. And yeah. So hold on a second. Just going to go grab my 17th Magnus at 8. Hang on.
Well, while you're going through that, yes, some fantastic form, which it's like a numerical palindrome, isn't it? With your 9s and your 8s and your 3s and your 8s and your 9. If the pattern follows, you might get an 8 next game, which will be quite good for a goalkeeper, definitely. Yes, we see in there's some football to be had today, I think, and we shall go into this match with Tore Hollung refereeing in a quite a nice temperature for today. Mr. Stee, any predictions for you today?
Oh, what I think it all comes down to is who's got biggest sack out two of these. Who's got biggest sack that can pull it over their own head and get the result out of the bag.
In the bag, right? We shall see. The match might be in the bag. We
in bag. That's what I said. In bag. Who's got biggest bag? Yeah.
From the Wankdorf Stadium, and Javan has scored for the Fortuna side, and it is 1-0 early in the match. And I don't think we've had such a David Collins.
Oh.
Is this the first team to score 2 goals today?
Oh, sorry, wrong team.
Trafford scored 2.
Fortuna.
and will the Fortuners score 4 goals, or will they find something fishy about this performance? And David Collins has had a chance to say, "Oh, Yavin has got his 3-0 to the Fortuna in the first half." And I think this is it a shock? I think maybe.
That's an absolutely brilliant performance so far from Fortuna. That keeper from Wolverhampton really letting her down there.
And I think my wonderful David Collins, it is 4-0 at half time. I think I might have seen 4 goals before. The 4 for Pelizzoli, the Pelican in goal, and I was right with David Day getting an 8, but this is. I think this is football, isn't it? It's 4 goals to this team.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt, that is one of the best performances I've seen so far this season. Can we see player ratings as well, please?
Yes, of
That
course,
is
yes.
absolutely unbelievable. Pelizzoli is absolutely having a nightmare there. By gum. That is absolutely brilliant there. Up the danglies, of course, but Fortuna having a great game there. Jabbing a couple, Collins as well. When I was in Super League, by the way, I'm not sure if I mentioned Super League. I should have won most games because I had loads of shots, but I lost every week. Couldn't get my head around it. But what's happening here is that Fortuna having all the shots, Pelizzoli's letting them all in. So unbelievable, really.
Yes,
Without a shadow of a doubt.
and I see that most of the matches actually been in the Fortuna area, which is even stranger to look at. From the report, we have a look and it was a rebound from nothing at all. So just the ball has appeared with a rebound and a goal. And then a few minutes later we have the back who I think is Bonk not back, so I'll call him Bonky back. He's put David Collins in for his a lovely goal for is another one, and then Bonk to Yavin, who's put in a wonderful goal. I could have said it was wonderful without reading that on there, and the cross from a man has crossed it in, and the goal for David Collins. It is fantastic for the team. Some shots, not too many shots, and some nice things going on. And look at David Day.
Yeah, if you look at that there's not many tackles put in either. Not even had to put any tackles in. I've been spending a lot of time around Manchester way, so if you hear a bit of Manchester in my voice, it's because I've been visiting Manchester recently. I've got a few friends there. I've been to the Magners Brewery in Manchester, so
This was pre lockdown, wasn't it?
pre-lockdown. Of course it was.
Yes, I think it was definitely into pre-lock. I don't think Steve went anywhere during the lockdown. But yes, it's some very nice football for one team, and the other team has not even turned up today. I think Pellizzoli might have been better at home and leaving nobody in goal.
No, it's absolutely awful performance there from Pellizzoli. It needs to be brought off. If it were me at Super League, I am at Super League. I would be bringing Pellizzoli off. I'm bringing on John Otaka. I reckon John Otaka in goal would be for me, but that's just my opinion. There, he's a world class player, John Otaka. I'd probably put him in goal. Yeah, and did I mention that Ronaldo's got 16 for heading in Super League? 16 for heading. Never seen him on that many home saves. Played a lot of home saves with him. 16 for heading. So have we got Ronaldo in this squad here, or no? George, we got Ronaldo.
No, Ronaldo, and nobody with 16 heads. It is a shame. Sejachka is to be withdrawn at halftime for the Matthew Edrington as the one change, and it makes me feel like Fortes might have been very valuable today for the Wolverines, and we go into the second half now with your chance to go on. Are you ready for the second half, Steve?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. Press that button.
let's go into the match, and did the chance for the Wanderers to get back into it, but they can't, and Fortuna come forward again with a chance. For David Collins has got himself a hat trick in the match for today, and I think the hat trick means that the manager of Fortuna needs to donate
What's the name of the
another.
stadium there? I can't
The
quite see it. What's the name?
Wankdorf Stadium, it is,
Oh,
yes, it's the
Wankdorf, of course it
Wankdorf.
is.
I think the manager of Fortuna Deflection needs to put in some more money for comic relief with the hat trick for David Collins. It is 3-0. Substitutions, we see Melvin, no, he's okay. And for Collins hurt his groin. Dillis might be around later on to sort that out.
Seems to keep offering services out there, doesn't she, Dillis?
She was very keen, and Carlos Jacks is going to come on into the position for that. And Ibrahim said he would come off at this time of match. So
big fan of Vance Warner. Big fan of Vance Warner there.
It is a Vance Warner kind of time, isn't he, to play into defensive? They're missing Dieter Eilts, who has a suspension, and I think he, if anyone has watched Camberwick Green before, they might notice that Dieter Eilts looks like Chippy Minton from Camberwick Green, one of my favourite programmes when I was growing up.
Just go grab another Magnus. Hold on.
See you enjoy while we look at Pellizzoli on the 3 at this point, and there are no plans to substitute him. So we're going to see the rest of the match. And 5-0. I don't think we expected a 5-0 today, but it's entertaining football, isn't it, Jeffrey? I mean, Steve, we're going to the last 10 minutes, and there's 4 yellow
Jeffrey
cards.
Is, if I'm honest, my name's definitely Steve. I'm not sure who Jeffrey is, but without a shadow of a doubt, it's been an unbelievable performance from Fortuna. Pellizzoli should be ashamed of himself, I'm being quite honest, mate. I won't have him in my squad at Super League, and I have any old rubbish in my squad at Super League. But Pellizzoli won't make it in, even with that performance there. Brilliant. That Fortuna, be very happy with that. Absolutely dominant. Jurgen Collar smashed it. WWFC, not even turned up there. So well done, Fortuna. Brilliant that.
I think Pellizzoli has not got Z3 anymore, so he might be a little bit happy with that one. But only 8 shots and they scored 5 goals. It sounds quite funny.
Yeah, without shadow of a doubt, Pellizzoli's fault that. And not to reiterate point, but without a shadow of a doubt, off target from WWFC 5. That's not good enough in this level. And Fortuna pumped at sword. There will come a point where it'll click for Wolverhampton Wanderers, but up Danglies. Well done, Fortuna. WWFC back to drawing board.
Yes, I think they might draw some nice pictures of Bungle maybe in the rest of it. The other goal for them, Kenny Lunt with the header down for Collins, who scores his goal. And then just Fortuna for today. It's almost a faultless performance.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, I have to agree with you there, mate. Yep, brilliant. That Fortuna, we're really happy we're keeping that same formation with arrows bumping into each other. I'm not a big fan of the arrows banging into everybody, but that is an absolutely unbelievable performance. Without a shadow of a doubt, best performance at night so far.
And for the Wolverhampton Wolverine Wolves, they've had some. Simon Davies has been jumping a bit and winning some headers, but that's probably the only good thing apart from Dean Richards, RIP, with his head he was tackling.
Yeah, bad day at office, outmatched formation wise. Without a shadow of a doubt, just knock on head, move on for WWFC. Forget about it for them.
Thank you very much, Steve, for joining me today for the commentaries, and I wish you well with the film singer South African teams you have in the Super League, not the Super League, there's the Swempy Super League, the Masinga whichever team it is you have, thank you very much for being here today.
No problem. Without a shadow of a doubt, best night in my championship manager 0102 career so far. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, everybody. Without a shadow of a doubt. Night, lads.
Steve, right there, fantastic to have him on the show. It was, he's a regular commentator for the league, and absolutely delightful to have him on for the league today. As we head into the fifth match for today, we'll change over to the East Coast, who are up against Imaginary Madrid. And before this match, we're going to have a word from world champion Tyson Fury.
Hello, it's WBC and lineal heavyweight champion Tyson Fury here. It's comic relief, so just like East Coast United, let's all show maximum bravery, okay? Last one to donate is a dosser.
Tyson Fury there. Roy Keane mess with him. We're going to head into the next round of the games, of course, and hand straight over to a recurring commentary appearance. We got Josh from Rainbow, and coming back to us, Kermit the Frog. Kermit, how's your evening going so far?
Wow, it's absolutely unbelievable so far. I thought earlier on the green room was star-studded, but I cannot believe my eyes that all of a sudden Steve W came in the room.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he's, I bet you were absolutely starstruck by that one. I mean, fantastic to have him on the show, wasn't it?
I didn't expect to see a manager from Dudley Hill in the room, in the green room. I've got myself and all the other people, Dillis from Fire and Sam, and then all of a sudden Steve W comes to...
Oh, George, what do you think about the night so far?
Well, it's been fantastic, hasn't it, Jeffrey? I'm just thrilled to be involved. I don't know what the green room is or anything, because I'm sat in my pink room here, but it just seems wonderful, doesn't it? We're going to have a look at the purple team here, the purple East Coast Wanderers, who have gone third place in the league, and I think they were winning the league before, but they're still a good team, aren't they? And as they play against a team that doesn't exist, I've heard.
No, it's absolutely brilliant to see Nigel Martin get a game in this team, because we were rooting for him earlier on.
Again, yes, I like that. Kermit Jeffrey, yes, he's good, isn't it?
Well, it's still not Jeffrey. When I was watching on the screen in the green room, Nigel Martin, as you called him, was playing there, and he starts today. He's okay. The defense seems very aggressive, and in fact, all the team is very aggressive, but I'm not sure Tiny Tim would appreciate this team, but they seem to be...
But they're very brave, aren't they, as well? And I think that Tiny Tim might be pleased with the brave people.
Well, he's the bravest boy I've ever met, so let's nip that right in the bud.
He's has 23 for bravery, I think, I've heard.
He's not on... Yeah, he's got uncapped 20s, so he's at least 35 for bravery. But, interesting formation. I like the... it's quite similar to one that the Badgers play, which I'm a massive fan of. Yeah, interesting to see how it works. East Coast very broad, very strong. Don't concede many goals, considering how old Martin Keown is. I have to say, my favorite player in the entire league is on the bench, and that's Duncan Ferguson. I'm happy to see him. He's a wonderful guy. I was getting burgled the other day, and all of a sudden Duncan Ferguson turned up and attacked all of the burglars. So,
I'm sorry for laughing at you being burgled, but yes, Duncan Ferguson
wasn't funny.
Also, he saved Bungle from a masked robbery before, and Rod, Jane, and Freddie were all having their cars broken into, and Duncan Ferguson saved all of them as well. So it brings back good memories.
You could say the robbers made a bungle of robbing Bungle, or is that? Yeah, no, thank you very much.
That's quite funny, isn't it? Yeah, I like that one. He's the only player in the league with the average rating of 10 as well.
That's because he's the best player in the league. I hope he comes on, because Salva is, as they say, a bag of dog poo. So I hope Duncan Ferguson comes on as well in this game. That would be my preference.
Well, I think if it's like the Trafford teams, then Taibbi might come on in goal and Nigma Tully up front. We shall see what happens in today's game against the pretend side, imaginary Madrid, who had to make a couple of changes today. They brought in Matthew Kelly as the right
Oh, that's a
side of
shame.
defence.
That's a real shame.
He's had to
That's
come in for the players who was there before, and Zenja was somebody else in his position here as well, who Joe Cole has come into for the Robin. I played Robin in an episode of Rainbow when Zippy was playing the Batman character. It was very good. It was very good indeed.
Yeah, and I'm probably not as good as the Robin, the actual player. Robin is an absolutely brilliant player. I'm a massive fan of him. I'm not sure what Garcia is still doing in the team, but he played half decent last game, I believe. So, and remember, here's a little message to the Madrid manager. Just because you haven't found your talent yet doesn't mean you don't have one, as I always say. So keep plugging away, Madrid. I think the result might come today. I am rooting for you. So good luck out there, boys.
That is very kind to them, isn't it? Yes. I think East Coast might win quite easily, but I mean,
Well, Gary Kelly is playing, so probably.
I'd like both teams to win. If I'm honest about this match, I would be happy with them both winning 2-1 for today. And Håkon Bondal is refereeing in the wet weather today. I went to Aldi's the week and managed to get myself some beer and Mapelli, and when I say myself, I gave it to Rod. He has a problem, but we'll go into the match and see what happens.
Weirdly, I went to IKEA and I got myself some Hakan Barvel as well. So it's
Oh,
yeah, I got the man. I got the referee.
It was a lovely reference to your shops. Yeah, fantastic. And we get going with the match, and things are happening.
Nothing's happening. Have you pressed? Are you sure you pressed start game? Oh, something's happening.
It was Edgar Davids with the first chance of the match. I just thought maybe nothing had happened, and things on Leboya with a chance for the goal. Birmingham manager as he is
It's
nowadays.
unsurprising. It's unsurprising that Calvo Garcia is on a 5. Because he's not good at kicking the ball. So it's not weird.
It's sad for him, isn't it? Tomasi having a fantastic game, and Joe Cole has scored for the Madrid Imagination team, and it is 1-0 at half-past time, despite the Alex Calvo Garcia's performance. Wow.
That's an interesting stats there. I would suggest the East Coast goalkeeper is not doing very, very well, but I'm a huge Joe Cole fan, so I'm glad he's got a game today. When I was on the Ellen show, I was talking about how Joe Cole's goal against Sweden was very, very good. So so I'm glad he scored today to make a Naughty's reference. I'm glad he's scored today. I'm a huge fan of his and a good friend. He texted me before the show wishing me luck. So glad he's brought the goods to the table today. So
and did you wish him good luck, or did you just take it all for yourself?
I took it all for myself. Gave Miss Piggy some as well. He sent Miss Piggy a selfie. So it's all good. She sent him one back. I didn't see what was on it.
Just I think Zippy's had 3 or 4 of those this season. We're looking, and it was Matthew Kelly into Joe Cole, and he took it round the Castrol man, the oil person, and then Joe Cole, a brilliant imagination Madrid move for the first goal.
I have to say, George, looking at the match report, there's not a lot of action for what seemed like a decent game, but there wasn't a lot going on. Really.
I think we sat there watching for the first 15 minutes, maybe.
That is true. I do remember that. Yeah, Miss Piggy was big. Miss Piggy was busy tending to my groin area because I got a sore groin, so I missed the first 20 minutes. I'm glad nothing happened.
Yes, and poor Dillis missing out on such something like this. Yes, Damiano Tomasi was a 9 at half time, 2,000 passes in the first half that have all worked for him, and
It doesn't say 2000. Doesn't say 2000. Just bringing that to your attention. Does not say 2000 passes.
but it says 2,000 passes for Tomasi in the first half, and Savlon with
You've been embarrassing yourself all night, so I just thought to pull you up on at least one of them. You embarrassed yourself all night, George. You're letting yourself down and your family down. That is not 2,000 passes. So let's move on very swiftly, please.
I don't think I'll be able to ever raise any money again.
George, forget it. Forget I said anything. You're doing a wonderful job. It was 2,000 passes. Just joking.
Thank you. And Ashley Cole with -8 passes for his team, creating the chances, and Sings. But imagine Real Madrid with Kelly's ball into Joe Cole. It's fantastic, isn't it? You're a big fan of Calvo Garcia, aren't you? Kevin?
No. He's completed 4 passes out of 12. He's done nothing. He lost both headers, no tackles, no shots, no nothing. I'm very much a believer in look at the player, and if he's got a load of 10s and 11s, don't play the guy. So yeah, I would bring him off, but I'm not the manager. So yeah, I think we have to restart the game. I'm Madrid. I'm very, very happy they're winning. They are a brilliant side. I'm a big fan of their team. So yeah, East Coast. Yeah, suck on that. 1-0 Madrid.
It's not easy being 1-0 up, is how I might refer to the first half for the Kermit songs. We go towards nothing happening at all, and David takes down Calvo Garcia. Maybe that's the role of Calvo Garcia, to be taken down by other men. We shall find out. Substitutions for the team for East Coast. 2 substitutions. First of all, based on performance, I don't think anybody is horribly bad.
The centre half just literally just clicked onto a 6 as the game came to the 60th minute. I think it was Akon Ronco. He was on a 5 for most of the game. He just clicked onto a 6 right at the end there, and I know that this manager as well loves a diagonal arrow. He's a very good manager. He's a very handsome guy. And he loves the diagonal arrow, so hopefully that does play into his favor in the second half. But Salva looks like he needs to come off, and I can only see one replacement.
Yeah, you're right. There is only one actual striker on the bench for the one there, and he has played the 10 this season so far. Yellow cards for the others. I'm just looking at whether they have the injuries or yeah.
Davids is having a particularly poor game as well. I would probably look at putting Roy Keane in there and swapping Tomasi and Keane, but that would just be me. What do I know?
I seem, Jeffrey, to be unable to. You're just about to move into the positions. Yes,
I do believe that Tomasi is better on the ball than Keane. My limited knowledge of football.
Oh,
but yeah.
Actually, Jeffrey, I know Roy Keane has the 20 in this position here, from my knowledge of the matches in the game. So he will go into the centre midfield for Tomasi, but yeah, it's something to think about forward for the world.
Your knowledge can suck a fat one, George. So let's start the game back up.
Like I said, I only know 16 facts about football, and
we've heard all 16 and more tonight, George.
We get on with your match, and no plans for the Madrid substitute, so I don't make any at that point. Okay,
they will be delighted so far.
Oh, easily Bowler is scored straight away.
Arrow.
Unbelievable, Jeffrey.
Calvo Garcia is still on the pitch. He is not playing well. You can't play the player like that against all these good players.
Duncan Ferguson had a chance and Bonk had a
Duncan
chance on
Ferguson's an
Ferguson.
absolutely brilliant game.
There have been some chances, haven't they? And 1-1. It is I don't think
I would suggest that Madrid will be happy with that result, because they're of their lowly position in the league, and so they'll be happy to take a result off the top team in the league, a team that the Badgers actually lost to. But on the basis of the game, the chance was there to beat them. Duncan Ferguson should hopefully start next game because he was brilliant when he came on with a diagonal arrow from Mr. Dimble, I believe it's called Dimble.
Yes, that's right.
Dividends. Seemed to pay real dividends with the goal from Lee Bowyer. So well done, Dimble, and well done, Mr. I Madrid.
It was a very good game, actually. I think the East Coast come back with the chances. The one shot from Imagine Madrid has gone in, and the 10 shots with a 5 on target for the East Coast was quite good. I think there was some football played. We have a look at the goals for the game, and we saw that we watched the goal around the Castro man before. Bonk to Kili Gonzalez and Lee Bowyer with the half volley. So he's a half volley, half a goal. Have they lost the match?
Counts for full goal. You absolute moron. It's definitely a full goal. You've once again embarrassing your family. It's a half volley is when the ball hits the floor, and he hits it while it hits the floor. So maybe read a book once in a while, George. Letting your whole team down.
Yes, yeah, but it's quite hard to hold it with your one hand. We looking, and Lee Bowyer has done quite a good job, and Kili Gonzalez with the assist, and then the 9 out of 10. Duncan Ferguson, fantastic player. Yes, I think they'll be happy to have come back and to not have lost their game.
Yeah, East Coast will possibly be disappointed they didn't win against when you look at the table beforehand. But on the basis of the game, as I said earlier on, football's like a movie. You write your own movie. I Madrid might be writing their own survival movie for the end of the season.
Yes.
So,
That's quite possible, isn't it? Kermit, yes. Calvo Garcia has kind of
should
forgotten
not play
to
football
play.
ever again. Oh, sorry, I butted in there.
No, I think we said similar things. I'm happy with that.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. I'm going to make my way back to the green room, where I've got Miss Piggy waiting there in stockings. Sat there waiting for me with some pizza. She's wearing normal clothes, of course. And pizza, a bit of a couple of beers, and I need to catch up and get a couple of pictures and an autograph from Steve Wright from Dudley Hill. I can't believe he's in the green room. So thank you for having me on. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much, Kermit, for everything you've done tonight. Your duties are done, and it's been an absolute pleasure. We move on to the next match, which there are 2 games to go. It isn't this game. We're actually going to be going to Wales for I say to Wales. We're actually going to Norway in the Norwegian League for the Hools versus Wacky Racers game. And just before we introduce our commentary team for today, we have a message from the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Mr. Boris Johnson.
Followers of Swemp, it's your Lord and Master Boris here, yes, encouraging you all to donate to comic relief and of course to have fun. I myself, being a man of the people, am a huge fan of Swemp. Yes, it is my favorite team is the crazy drivers. Come on, you lads, kick the ball, goal it.
The Prime Minister there, speaking more sense than usual, and I think it's something we can all relate to there.
I'm going to hand back over to George and to one of our guest commentators who's come back for tonight, Dillis Price. Dillis, how's the green room going?
Oh, it's absolutely wonderful. I've been in there for a long time now. It's been a while since I've been on. Can't believe it's been so long since you invited me back out here. But yeah, it was a wonderful time. Kermit has been giving me a foot massage. Would you believe it? There was a drip in the ceiling. Dripping on my head, drip, 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 and all of a sudden, Steve put something over the top of my head, and it rescued me from the drips. Not sure what it was. It looked like quite a thick elephant skin of some variety, but it came over my head and it protected me from the water. So I appreciate it. Thank you, Steve. You're an absolute gentleman, and I gave it a little kiss on the elephant skin just to say thank you. But apart from that, it's been a wonderful experience. Thank you, George.
It sounds like a big giant pink pancake over the top of your head. Fantastic. We're going to, I know, not too far away from Pontypandy.
Oh, come on, the
races.
racers! That's
Yes.
my boys. Sorry, I apologise for butting in there.
No,
I just see my boys turn up, and
your
that's
team to look at here. I think.
oh, that's my absolute boys. Partridge had an absolute stormer last game. Yeah, brilliant team. Giggs, wonderful on the wing, and brilliant off the wing as well, if you know what I mean. Excuse me, sorry, no, my Norman might be listening.
I don't know things about if you know what I mean, and
He is my Norman's dad, but I don't like to mention it because of the royalties. But he's my Norman's dad, and yeah, Sam was filming. Sorry, Sam knew about it. Sorry, forget that. Sam knew about it. Anyway, forget talking about my boys. Good team.
Yes.
This formation is a good formation. I've seen it somewhere before. I think it's the Badgers play it as well. They're my favourite team.
Triangle here, triangles there, and the triangle. Yes, it's lots of triangles. I like triangles.
Please continue. Yeah, please press continue. I'm too nervous for the boys.
James Thomas, number 10, Downing Street. Boris Johnson, last commentator man, and Zahul's Vikings had to make changes with the Emerson suspended. Alex has gone a little bit more into the middle of the pitch, and Ron Jeremy is in this position here for today.
I'm absolutely delighted to see Ron Jeremy on the right-hand side there.
Yes,
Alex in the central position is much more potent coming from the rear. Right through the middle, right up the middle there from Alex is
and Ron Jeremy with the big pointy arrow for
Ron Jeremy down the side. You can always have an extra bit. Ron Jeremy always gives you a little bit more. Does Ron Jeremy? Yeah, good team. Solid team. Four at the back. I'm never a fan of four at the back. I always like three coming in the back, but not four. Four is a bit too much for me. But a solid team, and yeah, good luck on them. I hear the manager. He's been sending me DMs for about 3 weeks now. That is one handsome manager. So Jens, if you're listening, send me some more DMs, please. A bit lower down than the belly button, please. Thank you.
Oh, dear me, Jeffrey. Sorry, Dillis Jeffrey. We will be going into the game, and we start with some football for Shell as Alseth refereeing. The game kicks off, and not much has happened to it. And then the chance, and now Bear has had a chance. Bungled Bear.
I would imagine the Hools win this game by quite a few points, or goals, or tries, or whatever it's called. But the Racers. They'll always be my boys.
Raoul has got that goal that you were talking about for the chances for the Hools to win the match.
It's not surprising, but come on, the Racers.
We have a little look at what's
every time they take a shot, every time they go forward, they seem to score. What's Paul Jones doing? I might be distracting him up here in the gantry. Sorry, Paul.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Norman Price's dad.
No. Oh, Norman, your dad's been injured. No, put down the matches, Norman. Come and see the game. Your dad's been injured. Oh dear. Oh, sometimes I feel like I'm from Ireland. Not too sure how it's going. Ryan Giggs, get him off. Bring on.
It's most likely somebody like John Oster kind
Oh,
of.
that's an absolutely massive downgrade.
Although there's Darren Barnard who could come on.
No,
and
that's
do the
that's
job.
even worse. I can't believe you suggesting Darren Barnard. Oh, good lord.
He has no other choice.
What about Matthew Jones? Is he not a midfielder, left centre?
He's
Matthew
a
Jones.
defensive midfield.
Oh,
I mean, we could go Gary Speed, Robbie Savage, and Joe
Lee Fowler.
And Lee Fowler
Lee Fowler. Are the options there? It's quite limited. Lee Fowler's possibly the best there. That's quite a weak squad.
We go with the 2-0 to the Hools, and I think we might have some more goals in this game. If we don't, I will be sad. Half time 2-0 and chances.
It's an absolutely dominant performance from the Hools there, you have to say. If you look at their
Somebody's forgotten to put on the racers shots so far, Jeffrey.
Yeah. Somebody, they've probably not done that. Possibly Steve W, because he's too busy throwing his pink pancakes around in the green room. He's in charge of the stats there. He's whipping them round his head, those pink pancakes. He seems to think they're like a yo-yo as well. They're flapping them down. He's pulling up the pink pancakes. It's absolutely embarrassing back there. But he seems to be quite proud. He seems to be quite proud of it. But no worries. Back to the game. Racers disappointed with their result, but Hools, they got the better team, so you can't really argue. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I think it might be quite true. Raoul has run it a little bit and around Craig Bellamy, but where's the defenders if Craig Bellamy is the last defender? I don't know. And for the second goal, it's a run Jeremy crossing, and then Paul Jones has been beaten by Elbert. It was quite a good goal, I think. Yes, assist for Jeremy and Ronaldinho so far.
It's absolutely one-way traffic. Let's get the game restarted because I don't see my races coming back into this. But it's a step too far, I think. Hools are in a league above the racers. I still love my racers, but it's a league above. So let's get the game restarted, please.
Yes, no need for half-time substitutions. Let's go in from Valhalla to the second half of the match. And not a lot second half to so far. Ronaldo, Paul Jones has saved a penalty.
A bit of redemption for Paul Jones there because he's been absolutely woeful in the first half, but he's recovered with a penalty save. David Partridge was brilliant the last game out. He got a 9 and key tackles, and now he's on a 5. What are we doing here then? Hools?
It's just a little check to say it was the goalkeeper with the saved penalty.
Oh, he's absolutely taking the piss there, is Jens. It's a good job. He's so good looking.
Well, I can't comment on facts, but
Elbert for El Phenomenon. Get Phenomenon on. There he is. That's my favourite player. One of them, another one.
Ronaldo, Ronaldinho's okay. Yes, we continue with his team, Jeffrey, and substitutions.
How many changes can be made for this team, please?
The racers have said to manage the substitutions. So.
Okay. Can Dillis manage them, or is that too far? Let's get rid of all the ones who are playing like I'm trying to not be offensive on a family show on Red Nose Day. They're not playing very well.
But we have Robbie Savage who has a little poorly knee, and
good. So another injury.
He
comes. John Oster, get John Oster on.
John Oster, who that might work better.
Yeah, he's absolutely terrible. John Hartenoff for
James Thomas.
He's having one of the worst seasons I've ever seen of any player in my entire football career.
And a
Can we just
debut
click on John
for
Hartson again for 1 second? Show me what in good name is going on with that player. And it's absolutely horrific.
I think Freddie might score more goals than him in a normal season. I think he might be better in the team next year.
And I've been supporting them up and down the country, but I've been shouting, "What's going on here? Because this is absolutely embarrassing. Get rid of John Hartson. Absolute slag. Excuse my French."
Hats off, don't worry, it's okay. Dillies, we sorted that change, and we carry on with the match. There's a chance that Owen James, Thomas Widge, and Jason Kumas, I think the racers are trying to come back into the game a little bit more, Jeffrey, and I just don't know whether we'll get another goal, though. I don't know.
Oh, it seems to be quite quiet, to be fair.
Yes.
Paul Jones is a bit of redemption there. Again, more redemption for Paul Jones. I mentioned that earlier on.
Oh,
and there you go. Yep.
Ronaldo.
Phenomenon. There's a reason they call him El Phenomenon, and that's part of the reason. Oh, my races have done nothing.
What's
Oh, George, it's been terrible, George.
What's the other reason behind the phenomenon?
He's got an absolutely massive shaft, George. Yeah, his 2 legs are really big, 2 shafts.
He's very strong in standing up, I imagine.
Almost like he's got 3 legs, George. Cannot believe it, he's so strong.
Ronaldo, yes, I think. And no shots on target there whatsoever, whereas the Hulls had all of. I think they were a little bit greedy in keeping all the shots on target for themselves, maybe.
A little selfish, but yeah, cannot complain. Norman, get down from there, Norman. Fireman Sam be round soon. Sorry, I had to bring Norman to the green room. So yeah, good game. Who's far too good for the races? The races are still my boys, and if you need a massage after the game races, you know where I am. I got some special essential oils. I got some lavender, some chamomile. So come around, especially you rain geeks. You know where I am. Your boy Norman's here waiting for you. He's been waiting for 20 years. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, anyway, but Who's done really, really well as well.
It's okay, Dilly, don't worry, he's fine. We have got the Raul Cross and Ronaldo finish for one of the goals, and for the other one, we have a Cafu who is not injured for his team, and it has put it into Raul, who scored the goal. Fantastic. Raul, man of the match, and lots of 9s for the Hulls team.
A very, very good performance from the Who's. They're going to be pushing the top of the league there, and so they should be with a team like that, and a manager as attractive and as handsome and as inspiring as that as well. Lucio's had a brilliant game. He's got 5 key. I mean, all of his tackles have been key ones, which he's standing on the goal line? I'm not sure what he's doing there. Seems a bit unrealistic, but who am I to talk about? 20-year-old game. 5 key tackles, 5 key tackles. And he still only gets 8. Unbelievable.
Yes, I know. Yes, he's a bit strange, isn't he? I think.
I have to say before I head off, thank you very much for everybody for donating to the cause. And if you're still listening now, I'm not sure why you're still listening apart from Jens and Mr. Racers, because why else would you be here? Sure, but thank you, and thanks for all the money donated. Appreciate it. I'm going back to the green room. I think Steve is he seems to be pouring Magnus all over his nipples, so I'm going to go and lick them off his nipples. Thank you very much. Good night.
Well, thank you very much, Dillis, for your contributions today. We have got one more commentator. I'm going to hand over for the last match to Champ Megahorse to introduce the matches. Dillis, you have a lot of fun tonight. I know you. I know you will indeed. Yes, thank you, Megahorse. Yes, thank you very much, George. We have got one more game to go, and this is probably the game that
that has been worth waiting for. Definitely, we've got the Boothtown Badgers and the Iron Curtain United. And before we go to this game, we're going to have a word from possibly, apart from the late Murray Walker, the man who can command the most respect from anybody in the world, Sir David Attenborough.
And so I find myself at the set, cheering on the Boothtown Badgers. This very rare breed of badger has a varied diet, but tonight they will hopefully be eating the CCC players alive. While I'm watching the carnage, I will of course be donating to comic relief. And I hope you will too. Thank you and enjoy the show.
King David Attenborough there with our final message. And many, many thanks to Adam Diggle for his superb impressions during this time. It's been wonderful to hear those, and surely a great contribution to the Red Nosed effort. We're going to our final match now of the Badgers versus CCCP. And to hand over to the co-commentator for today, along with George, we have got Boothtown Badgers manager Tato Mourinho.
Good evening. Thank you very much again. Glad to have me back on comms, because some of the people on comms have been absolutely horrific tonight. Apparently, they know nothing about football, and if I can speak for the debauchery in the green room, then I'm glad to be out here and not in there, because there's foot massages, there's tickling of all sorts going on. I'll keep that to as blunt as I can. There's some perineum work going on in there. So Kermit is doesn't know what's happening. But my badges are on now, so here we go. I'm looking forward to the game. Thank you for getting me here. Thank you for donating to Red Nose Day. Keep sending the money in. The number's on the bottom of the screen. Is it not? Is the number on? Sorry, the number's not on the bottom of the screen. Sorry, the number's not on the bottom of the screen. That's a different show I was invited to. Sorry, I did that last year. I did the weird one with the hotel guy last year, the Premier Inn guy last year. The number is not on the bottom of the screen, but come on the badges. So thank you.
The numbers on the bottom of the screen with the hotel guy. That sounds entertaining, there, doesn't it? You can see your Badgers team today. It's there's no surprises for your side, I don't think.
Not really. I've switched out Finnan for Huckabee. Huckabee's on an average rating of about 6.7 now. That's absolutely embarrassing for the number of games we've played. Collins, he literally punched someone last game. So if he's not out for 8-9 games, I'll be surprised. Which, to be quite honest, might derail the entire season. Somerville's class, but he's no David Collins. That is absolutely unbelievable.
I'm not sure whether the full ban has come in yet.
No, I don't think it has, because as soon as they realise what he did, he assaulted someone. So he's gonna suffer the consequences. I would imagine. I'll put it on record now. If Somerville doesn't perform better than what he's shown so far, I will be playing a formation that involves no AMC and more strikers. Because if he can't do it, then I've got no more decent AMCs. I will be sacking it off and going more attacking. I'll put that out there now.
More of this sack that you mentioned earlier on. I'm going to make sure that George comes onto the commentary now. I think it's time that George comes and joins you for the rest of this session. How are you doing, George?
Thank you very much. I just needed a little bit more of a rest. I think I just felt a little bit overwhelmed from the performances of some of the teams, and now I'm back for the last match. I can give my full energy to the cause. Tato, thank you for joining me again, and for your wonderful help earlier on today.
No problem. Thank you very much for having me, and I can understand why you enjoy yourself backstage. It's there's a lot going on there, and I can imagine you're quite distracted by the Miss Piggy. She's certainly putting herself around the pitch.
I stayed away from the green room after hearing some naughty sounds. I went to my pink room and I had a little lay down and the feather and things and balloons, and it was nice. And I had my cheese on toast. It was very nice.
Fair enough. Concentrate on the pink. Good idea. Let's continue there, please. Look after your own pink and let the rest deal with itself. This team,
The
very
Iron
good.
Curtain.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm as a Badgers manager, the front to God Lord, that's 6 players. The front 6 players are absolutely brilliant. Karpin, Mostovoy, old, not my cup of tea, but the assists they're racking up for Nikiforenko, Shigalko, Shevchenko, with Milevsky in there behind him is, I mean, yeah, impressive to say the least. There, that's mad. Mostovoy with 7 there, that's insane. So I'm worried for my defense that they can hold out, but I'm hoping it's a bit of give and go with the attack and stuff. But we'll see. This is a very, very strong Iron Curtain team. Fair play to the fellow who's arranged it, because they're a good team. So may the best man win.
Yes, I like most of the teams. I like Badgers and I like curtains. Do Badgers like curtains? I don't know.
We'll see after 90 minutes. I would imagine no, George. Badgers do not like curtains. So press continue, please, George.
I will return to present as a Badger. I will return to the shop as soon as I can. We go into the final match from with Kimmer the Bogus. I'm sure he refereed a game already today. It's a gutsy weather today.
Very hot.
32 degrees and very gutsy. I think we've got.
Says gusty. George Pal says gusty. That's windy, right? Gutsy is.
I thought the weather was looking was going to be quite courageous.
Embarrassing. Press continue. Kick-off match. It's a waste of time.
We start.
Thank you.
Neil Sullivan was your first chance of the match, I think, and Shevchenko puts one wide. We've got both ends being fully smashed, and Shevchenko is the opening goal for the Iron Curtain and an equaliser for Yavin straight after. This is quite the game. They're smashing the back doors in on both sides, and I think that Shigalko with the chance, and I just don't know
relatively
which way
even game so far, I would say. Relatively even game with 2 marksmen putting their stamp on the game as well.
Oh, he's Duff man. Duff man. Mike Duff has scored his 2-1.
We're absolutely delighted with that first half so far. CCTP
Badgers and
brilliant team.
It's like Scallivan returns and a goal for Shigalko. I think 2-1, and it's Neil to Jimmy Somerville has scored as well, and his chance. I don't know which way you look at the game. This is, if we've been left in game for last today at 7 o'clock in the morning, when we finally reached.
Certainly feels like it. The amount of time you've been bumbling on for there, George. Yeah, it seems like 7 o'clock in the morning. Brilliant game. What I say to my Badgers fellas before the game starts, I said, if you take a shot on goal, make sure it's a shot on target, not off target. It's quite a simple message. And we did that against Phoenix a few games ago. We're doing it tonight. And if you go on player ratings again, please, for me, you will notice that I laid an absolutely clear message out to Neil Somerville. If you do not perform tonight, you will not play again this season. And he's playing, he scored. I think my defence could step it up a bit, but I think I can speak for both teams here. It's absolutely tit for tat. Both teams are attacking. Both teams are seeing who's got the knockout punch. And so far, fingers crossed, the Badgers are doing the business, my boys. And CCCP, hopefully hopefully Shigalko can keep him quiet because he's the main man. So very happy so far. I'm hoping we cling on for the win.
It's been very, very exciting. It's almost as exciting as when Bungle found a mystery bag in the garden and we had to work out what was inside.
That was awful. That was awful, George.
It
was awful. It wasn't funny. It's boring.
Boo-boo.
Talk about the champ manager, please.
The mystery bag had Championship Manager inside it. It was a very good bag. But yes, I think 3 goals for the Badgers in the first half and no injuries. They must be very, very happy to go in with that.
Talking of big bags, Steve's here again. Steve. So it's an absolute pleasure to be here. So thanks for having me. Without a shadow of a doubt, Badger's unbelievable in that first half. See, get beside my face.
I was struggling to concentrate on the videos I can see in the background.
Sorry. Apologise. He's let everybody down there, including Red Nose Day. Embarrassment.
And for the beef curtains, we don't have any substitutions. I don't think maybe Mustovoy with I don't know. Yes,
did you say the beef curtains?
The iron curtains. It was
okay.
The iron curtains. I think Mustovoy. He will stay until the 60-minute time. I think this is me. We got into the second half and Shevchenko with Owen Yavin with a chance as well. It's been end to end so far, Jeffrey. I don't know where to look, and we have now the substitutions for the Badgers. Mr. Tato, Mr. Mourinho, Jose Tato.
Thank you. Can I do Finnan for Huckabee, please?
Finnan for Huckabee, yes.
Top, thank you. Can we? Okay. Can we Sullivan for as per my instructions pre-game? I said, I think if you read the instructions, it said Sullivan for one of the strikers, and one of the strikers. I would ask for. I will go with McPhee, please.
Yes,
it's his last chance. It's McPhee's last chance as well. So I'm a big David Cameron fan, so give it to McPhee.
Yes. The instructions are clear. Ready for the changes and
one of the strikers is what I stated. So George, if you stop bumbling for a second, yes, one of the strikers.
Yes.
Thank you very much, George.
That's fine, Jeffrey. Okay.
I'm not Jeffrey again. Possibly the 5th time tonight. I'm not Jeffrey, but no worries.
I just wish somebody was Jeffrey these days. I do miss him a little. So quite a lot of bits and things.
You're literally the only person that misses him.
Megahorse misses him. I know. I spoke to him before the games, and Mustovoy now with his nasty thigh, he will come off for
Titov probably. I would imagine.
Tito versus Stotts. Yes, Titov. I think would be the one to come into that position. 3-2. We carry on with the last half hour of the Red Nose Day. Let's go. Oh, it's a lovely save for David Priest for a chance, and both teams going forward, trying to attack the ball, and sometimes they fail to kick it. And I don't know. It's like Sigalko is equalizing 3-3, Jeffrey, and now we're going to the last 10 minutes of the match with Ryan Williams has put one just 2 chances from Ryan Williams. He needs to be told that he's been naughty, missing the chances, and and they say, "Oh, it's Murray Walker with the late goal. He's fantastic. Can they hold on for it?" And yes, it's Justin Walker. It was with your winning goal for your Badgers. 70 goals in this match. It was fantastic, and what a result! Look at the shots on the goal for both teams.
That's an absolutely brilliant result there for the Badgers against quite honestly far superior Iron Curtain team. That is unbelievable result. I can say with no qualms whatsoever that is the manager is delighted with that. That is yet again proving the credentials of the manager. Playing with a team of players who quite honestly deserve to play in the Division 3 of the English pyramid. But brilliant result in the end. Let's see how it panned out, please, George.
Yes, let's have a look at the goals. I didn't check in the first half, and it's the first one we have Nikiforenko with a ball into Shevchenko, and then Mark Hughes style finish for the first goal. Very very soon after, we had a smashed like a redknapp kind of goal there from Yavrin into the goal, and then a save from Nigel Martin, and it comes to Duff, and it goes in, and then Shevchenko to Sigalko, he just does what Sigalko does, I suppose, and then Jimmy Somerville, a chance comes begging. He never can say goodbye to the chance. He just scores and gets it in there, and then in the second half, we've got some more goals to score, haven't we? And another Mark Hughes style finish, this time from Titov to Sigalko. I mean, just too excited, to be honest, for what happened at the end of the match. And it was Huckabee. He tried to play it, and you haven't lost it to Janowski, and it gathered up by Walker, who just smashed it in. And I am a little bit sad it wasn't Murray Walker, but it was Justin Walker, and he scored.
He did that for his granddad. He did that for his granddad Murray. So that's one that everybody can get on board with. Justin's granddad is Murray Walker, the commentator from horse racing. So he did very, very well there. The horse racing commentator's grandson.
Yes, I remember the Grand Nationals Murray Walker commentating.
No, wrong one. No, he was definitely doing the old red rum and that. That was him.
Megahorse and things like that.
That was him. We all remember him. Wonderful result. Risk will not be playing next game, and hopefully never again for my team after a 5. That's absolutely embarrassing. If only there was a better player to bring in for him. Very, very impressive, the team performance. That is wonderful. Can we look at match stats quickly again?
Yes,
just to remind me of.
It's 17,000 shots.
An unbelievably even game, and when people look back on the Red Nose Day stream, hopefully they'll remember the brilliant game that ended it all. Badgers beating the CCCP, the Iron Curtain, who quite frankly have a miles better team than the Badgers, but don't have the good enough manager to beat me. So unlucky there, CCCP. Move on to the next game. Keep going with the tactics. Maybe copy my tactics like the racers do, and then you might win some games. Cheers.
Absolute pleasure. I'd like you to stay on for the analysis at the end. Thank you, Jeffrey. I'm going to hand back to Mr. Megahorse. He knows what to talk about sometimes, and I'm not too sure. George.
Thank you, George. George, it was absolutely wonderful. Sorry, Megahorse. George, it was absolutely lovely to spend time with you. Thank you for your efforts tonight, George. And I'd love to have you on comms again. It's delightful.
Yeah, thank you, Tejo. I did my best, and then sometimes I think I just have to say there's better commentators out there like you and Murray Walker
Dillis.
and David Pleat and Dillis. I mean, yes, they're all also so fantastic. Maybe one day I will get to be on the television a little bit more. George, yeah, fantastic job, George. Honestly, brilliant. Thank you very much for everything you've done so far. Maybe you'll give a little message at the end, but look at the results today. Going through the scores there, some big wins for Fortuna and for Hulls. The massive 4-3 that we just seen there, the Badgers moving into that top 5 against the Iron Curtain. Superb result. I mean, imagine Madrid versus East Coast. That is probably the shock of the day. Let's have a look how it affects the tables.
That's a huge result. Like East Coast, I swear they were first or second before the game, before the games kicked off, and then they've completely dropped there to 4th. So that is probably the biggest shock of the night. Yeah.
But I suppose we've talked about it for a few weeks that the Imaginary Madrid comeback is on its way, and 2 draws in a row. They're on their way slowly and surely.
Certainly when one of them is against a team that is in that top league, the top 4, yeah, that's a massive result. Like that shows what that squad can do. So when you put that up against any of the other bottom, well, not Badgers, but any of the bottom 8, that's they can do anything there. Madrid are one to keep an eye on. They're going to fly up the league.
Yeah, it will take them at least 2 wins to get anywhere above where they are currently, but 2 wins is certainly not beyond them. Looking at the top of the table, Trafford with a 2-point gap. It's the first time that the team's really started to pull away this season, but they have just played Flamingos, so anything could happen really regarding the other teams catching them up. They're sure to play. I mean, Phoenix have played Flamingos. I'm not sure if Hulls have, and I don't think East Coast have either.
Yeah, I think Phoenix, of all the people tonight, of all the teams in that top division tonight, will be the most disappointed. They would have imagined finishing the night on top of the league, but the draw there has held them back a bit. But there's starting to be something formed there. Badgers back to the top of the league again. The top 4 pulling away. You can see that it's fine. Badgers but at the top of the league, and at Lum will also be disappointed with their draw, because that was a big chance to put a statement out there to get in that top position in that middle league going on. So
it was a huge result for UN Rovers, wasn't it, that game?
Yeah, that was massive. That was absolutely massive. That keeps them within touch of CCCP, who lost again tonight, and WWFC, who seems to be on a bit of a losing streak, if you call it that. It's 2 in a row, is it, or 2 or 3 in a row? Yeah, they're showing so much promise earlier on. So interesting.
So the win over Badgers,
Wow.
Surrounded by 3 other defeats, yeah.
Which I'm still embarrassed about, yeah.
So very, very sort of even record at the moment. Just looking outside those top 4 teams, the next best defence comes from 10th place Fortuna.
They also don't score many, so I think as Greaves is shown in the Super League, it's absolute scum. Super League, the lesser version of this Swemp League. You can set up a team to play defensive and win games. So Fortuna are currently setting up a team to play defensive and lose games. So, and you have to consider that 5 of those goals of those 12 were scored tonight. So, yeah.
Yeah, if you do take out a 4-0 defeat and a 5-0 win from the other 7 games, then there's been very, very few goals scored in their matches.
Yeah, you'd have to say that they've today seemed like an anomaly, but we'll see next game. If they get another big result next game, then they're the one to watch. Yeah.
So this is the fixtures for Tuesday night, which obviously Tuesday, Wednesday, the 22nd of May. We have some belters in there. We've got
there's a few big games.
Look at the game at the top of the list there. Alumwell and Badgers, 6th and 5th. That is pivotal into whether it's.
Let me tell you now, without even scanning down, you've got at at Lum against Badgers, which is first and second in the B division, and you've also got, if you look further down, Trafford against Phoenix, which is a top of the main division. So the games there are absolutely massive next week. This is a huge week to shape the entire division for the rest of the season.
It's a bold statement, but it's perfectly true. It's huge going forward. Let's take a look at the stats here. We got Shevchenko from the Iron Curtain being the top player in the league, but
not tonight though.
4 Hools players as the next 4 in the league. It shows just what Jens Anderson's doing with his team so far. They are certainly something to look out for. But certainly, as Mr. Mourinho says, CCCP not on top today. Yavin still on 10, but he's been slowly caught by a Sigalko of Trafford. And then the 3 chasing ones, Elbert, another Yavin, and Shevchenko within the top 5. Goals conceded, Cudicini's conceded 24, which is more than any other keeper, but Flamingos have used 3 goalkeepers, I believe, this season. Yep, you can see them all on the list there, so not too much to worry about. Penalties, Junior and Sigalko scored 2 each. Assists, Mostovoy on 7, didn't get one today, even though his team scored 3. He is still 3 goals clear at this point, and the rest of them are starting to bunch up a little bit. Going into yellow cards, we've got Eka Davids, Emerson, and Roy Keane, all on 5. In the red card zone, nobody else got one. There was a red card today, wasn't it? Roberto Carlos, who's gone to the top of the list. Everybody else on 1.
See tackles, please.
We can have a look at all of them, absolutely, yeah. Raul's 4th man of the match of the season so far. It's been superb for him. Into pass completion, and Jai at 91%. Tackles, Rustico Smirtine up nearly 8 tackles per game. And the top Badgers player is Neil Scally.
Rustico is huge there.
It certainly is for Smirtine as well, who's been injured, to be up there. Rustico's keeping up on a more consistent rate, I think, as well there. And Ryan Giggs, 4.5 dribbles. I mean, that came from 13 in one game for the vast majority of those that's happened to him. And now he got injured mid-match in the other one as well. We've got to remember that one. Blinkhorn, 92% shots on target. It's a superb rate for him. And we've seen all the stats. Team of the week. Is there a team of the week this week? We are midweek, so no, there isn't. And we go into...
Obviously, because the Badgers won, so there's no team of the week. That's how it works.
So last time round, our last team of the week was Saturday, the 11th of May. On the 16th of May now, we've got the 22nd next time, so I'll probably know team of the week again next time round. Just a reminder. Tato Mourinho, thank you very much for coming along, and also for being the transport for such others as Dillis and Kermit and Steve Wright tonight.
I absolutely appreciate it, and without a shadow of a doubt, I will go back to the green room and compare sacks with whoever is in there, because the sacks is, of course, our haul from tonight. The couple of us are going to compare sacks and have a couple of beers. And yes, thank you for having us on. Long live Red Nose Day. Thank you to all who've donated. We genuinely appreciate it. It's been absolutely ridiculous. Well done to Mr. Megahorse, who's instigated the entire thing. It's all his work. So thanks everyone as well. Have a good night, fellas. See you later.
Thank you. Very, very kind words there. Yeah, the idea was of Chat Megahorse, but what everyone else has done, contributions, Tato Mourinho, Steve Wright, Kermit the Frog, Dillis Price, and of course Adam Diggle with his wonderful impressions for our little celebrity endorsements, and George from Rainbow. Thank you very much. Good night.